If you're on Medicaid, listen up. You're at risk of losing coverage if you don't recertify.
That's a process that usually takes place once a year. But during the COVID-19 pandemic, the federal government waived those requirements. With the public health emergency over now, those requirements are back.
Yeah, Fox 10 News' Brendan Kirby now joining us live with more on this. And Brendan, tell us what the people need to know.
Well, Byron and Shelby, the main thing is don't ignore any mail or email that you might get from the Alabama Medicaid agency. You'll have to complete this paperwork if you don't want to get kicked off the rolls. One of the largest healthcare providers for Alabama Medicaid recipients is Franklin Primary Health, which has clinics in 6 counties. CEO Charles White says 12,000 of his 37,000 clients have the health insurance program for the poor. And he says many were worried they'd lose coverage this month.
Many people just felt that April 1st was what they were going to lose, their coverage, period. And so what we have been doing is certainly letting our patients know, no, that is not true. You're not, don't be stressed out, don't panic.
What Medicaid patients do have to do is make sure they fill out paperwork from the Alabama Medicaid agency to recertify their eligibility. White says folks can bring their letters and their recertification packets to one of his clinics where staff can help them. He says people need to have their Social Security numbers also.
The good thing is that Medicaid now has this online, and so you can actually, we will be able to right there, once we submit that, they can tell whether or not they were approved, or whether or not it was denied, or whether or not they need more information.
If people aren't eligible anymore, for instance, because they got a job since they first applied for Medicaid, White says his staff can help them find other health insurance. The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation estimates that some 13.4 million Medicaid recipients no longer are eligible. But Kathy Hempstead, a senior policy advisor for the group, estimates there are another 6.8 million or so who are still eligible but could lose coverage because they fail to successfully complete the recertification process.
They may have changed their address or, not opened a piece of mail and not be aware of what's going on and just mistakenly be terminated from the program.
The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation projects that almost 2 million people who will be expelled from Medicaid live in states like Alabama, which didn't expand the program under the Affordable Care Act.
They're too poor for the marketplace, but not poor enough for Medicaid.
If you fall into that category, then White says Franklin Primary Health is an option. It charges on a sliding scale based on income. Reporting live, Brendan Kirby, Fox 10 News.